Hello Star Seeds and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I would just like to say welcome to you guys. So today I want to talk to you guys about the nervous system and how it changes and affects us as we go through our awakening, as we ascend. There's a lot of energy that's coming in right now in the month of February. Right now, today is an 11 portal day, and we're experiencing some really intense solar wind that's bringing in a lot of energy. Also, the Earth is showing that she too is experiencing this solar wind and some of these galactic energy influxes. The Schumann resonance spiked to a 50. The amp was up to 50. That's pretty high. It was a 2 4 days ago, and now today it's a 50. She's been spiking for the last 4 days. It's been going up in increments. It was like 20, 30, and now it's 50. Now, during the ascension cycle, for those awakening as well as the new generation being born, some people are experiencing a positive range of genetic mutation or transformations that are impacting their nervous system, their nervous development system, and brain processing. Ascension is a shift in the energetic spectrum of frequency patterns held in our physical self. As a countermeasure, many in the medical community are being pressured to heavily medicate all people that fit under the diagnostic labels for spiritual crisis, or under the umbrella terms used for neurodevelopmental disorders such as ADD, ADHD, and autism spectrums. So many people without ascension awareness or knowledge are actually being trapped into the medical system and are being prescribed drugs that are interfering with their spiritual development or spiritual growth because they're being told that they have a disease, but they don't. It's spiritual growth. It's the awakening. It's a dis-ease. So we must all do our due diligence and do our research and find our personal truth to take control of our personal health and well-being. You don't want to place your well-being in the hands of somebody else, even if that somebody else is your doctor. Okay? Always get a second, third, fourth opinion. See a holistic health doctor or a spiritual healing doctor, or even what are those doctors called? The spine doctor, orthopedic. Oh, I'll have to get back to you on that one. The doctor that they're called DOs. Not I know not doctor, but it's a DO. The other day I looked it up because I was looking to get a different opinion on my medical diagnosis regarding my fibromyalgia, and I would really like to see another doctor, and one of the doctors I found was a DO doctor. And this doctor takes a more of a holistic approach, and a lot of them are accepting the insurances that are out there on the markets today. I know that a lot of people don't see holistic doctors because they don't accept many people's insurance and they only accept cash, and they are a little bit pricey, but it's well worth it. It truly is. So I don't know where you live, but I live in New York, and if you're looking for a doctor to take a little bit more of a holistic approach, look up the DO doctor, not an MD, not a nurse practitioner, but a DO. We cannot give our, that responsibility of our health away. We can't give our energy away to other people, no matter who these people are. You must do your due diligence and, look out for yourself and make sure that whatever your doctor is saying that you have, you do research. Get more people to look into your situation, because chances are it's due to nutrition or spiritual health and well-being. So eating better, eating cleaner, and drinking more water, meditating, and being grounded into Mother Earth will definitely help you. When you are spiritually activated, these old identity patterns or old paradigms begin to shift, reemerge, clear it'd clear away the old layers of experiences that are coded into every single cell and memory pattern held as an energetic vibration within your body from lifetime after lifetime. Now, the biological ascension process manifests physical, mental, and emotional ascension symptoms that ignite a spiritual crisis, which some people call the dark night of the soul. I actually did a video on this. If you're interested in watching the video, I'll link it down below in the description area. So you're purging and you're waking and shifting, and energy, energy flow is taking place, and a blockage has been removed when these frequencies and these light codes and frequencies come in, and you're going through the awakening, the ascension, and you start to feel all of these strange symptoms in your body. It's because a blockage has been removed, allowing energy to flow through your body, causing a spiritual crisis or a dark night of the soul. You have to kind of think of your body as an old abandoned house or building, and the plumbing has not been used in many, many, many years. Okay? Now you go into this old house and you start to remodel and fix it, and you kind of fiddle with a few things here and there to get the water working. And when you turn the water on, what do you think happens? A whole bunch of debris comes flowing out, or maybe nothing comes out. Maybe there is no flow for the water to come out. Or, I know that I did plumbing with my brother for a couple years, and when there's a problem with the main line or the pipe, usually either no water comes out because it's broken, or a whole bunch of rocks and dirt and little things, pebbles, sometimes little pieces of sticks come flowing out of your faucet, and what that's doing is causing more problems, more damage. It's going to cause more problems and more damage until all of the repairs are made so that the water can flow and run freely without debris or blockages. So that's what's happening with your body, is you have a bunch of blockages, and the energy is pushing those blockages out of your body. Going through this ascension will cause changes in your body, like you'll experience neck pain and nervous sensations, anxiety, depression. If you're watching this video right now, chances are it's because you were guided to watch this video. You are being subconsciously led here to this video to watch this channel because you're tuned in to my frequency. You're tuned in to my vibration. It's possible that we made a commitment with each other before we incarnated here to meet up at a certain time in your life to help trigger you, to code you, to help you wake up. You subconsciously being led here is your spiritual initiation. What's happening now is your neurological structure is getting plugged in, and this is how you will receive the electromagnetic light codes and frequencies to help you wake up to start your soul growth, your spiritual journey, your awakening. Some people experience something called the Kundalini activation and experience a lot of intense sensations. I get and have received strange sensations in my body, but I have not ever experienced the Kundalini experience like other people. I've heard stories that other people experience these very, I don't want to say dramatic in a bad way, but very dramatic experiences where they're talking in light language and tongue, their body is moving around like they're having convulsions and stuff like that. I've experienced a Kundalini activation, but it was just it was noticeable, but it wasn't like crazy, and it wasn't painful. I felt like, how can I explain this? It just felt like a warm sensation that came going up my spine, and it just felt like a trickling of water, but ascending up. And there was a pain in that one portion of my body that I no longer have. And I think that was a blockage that is now released. And that was my Kundalini activation. Now, what Kundalini is energy that is coiled up in the base of your spine. And when it's activated, it flows up and down the spine. Now, if there's a blockage, it will create some body pain and neurological problems. Too much exposure to high electromagnetic frequency too soon and too fast can damage the neurological system and the brain and your heart, causing a heart attack. That's why we just cannot get these activations like this. Like, we just cannot, some people ask, why is the awakening process so extremely long and painful? It's because if we were to get hit with all of that energy at one time, it would just kill us. It would be just too powerful for us. We have to get it in increments. We have to acclimate to the changes because it's making so many dramatic changes to our body. It's taking our dense third dimensional body and turning it into a light crystalline body. Okay. And this is something that cannot happen overnight. It happens over a process of many, many, many years. So that is why we go through so many of these plasma waves and downloads to receive and get these frequencies so often. It has to be in increments. It's a slow process. Each individual has a specific energy signature that determines the details of their awakening. Now, indigos and star seeds are the first wave of people that are spiritually awakened to be initiated into the Kundalini activation during the Ascension cycle. So people like me and other people that have YouTube channels that are helping people, go through the ascension process and talk about spiritual growth and, a lot of spiritual channels. It's because those people are star seeds, light workers. Those are the first wave people. They're here, they're awake, and they're here to code you, trigger you, and help guide you through your ascension, through your awakening. Every person has a unique path of ascension, okay? Even though we are receiving the same connection to the electromagnetic energy, we don't all experience it the same way. We all experience it in different ways and in different time. Now, what you're experiencing in the initiation process, if you are new to all of this spiritual growth and you are new to being a spiritual seeker and you're just waking up and you're just finding my channel because you're curious about all of this stuff that's happening in your life, it's because you're in the initiation process. Now, in this stage, in the initiation stage, your consciousness is expanding. It's expanding more and more as it receives an increase of the electromagnetic frequencies. So the initiation stage is always not the worst, but after this stage, it gets better. In this stage, you're confused, you don't know what's going on, you think you're sick, you think you're crazy, and that's what leads you to Googling symptoms, and this is how you end up on channels like mine. Now, over time, after you kind of master the initiation stage or process of all of this spiritual growth, you will go into the absorption stage of this ascension. And once your body is used to getting and receiving light frequency, you will be able to move on to the next process of your path. Now, the new frequency that you receive will hold information that will bring many different kinds of experiences to the surface in your life, okay? It will reveal karmic lessons, issues of self-mastery, other lifetimes. You may have flashbacks of other lifetimes. You may experience paranormal stuff, like seeing deceased relatives or spirits or orbs or, sparks of light, stuff like that. What else? You'll experience emotional and spiritual conflict resolution. Now, in this process of the absorption is when you'll start to consciously be aware of feeling or recognizing the feeling of the kundalini spirals, or the energy as it moves up and down your spinal column. You'll feel it conducting with the spinal column, with the spinal nerves. You'll feel these weird sensations, and it's what it is. It's electromagnetic frequency that's flowing through the spinal column, and it's going to flood into the chakras, and that's when certain chakras will start to open, like your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your third eye, your spiritual intuition, your root chakra. There's so many, different chakras in your body that's why I do yoga, because I work on each and every one of those chakras, and the breathing techniques that I do helps, push the energy up and down, keeping a clear flow of energy, because once one of your chakras get blocked up, that's what creates some problems in your body. Like, I think your heart chakra, yeah, I think your heart chakra is one of the easiest ones to open um, when you're on this spiritual path. That's why you go into spiritual crisis, because you begin to feel more empathy, and you start to understand feeling more. It's because your heart chakra, your heart is expanding, and it's allowing more energy flow in, and it's releasing and purging out all negative and low vibrational energy, opening up, and you'll start like loving trees and appreciating them, and you'll appreciate going out into nature, and you'll appreciate the flower and the beauty of the flower and how it smells. You'll appreciate birds, and you'll see more birds, and that's because your heart chakra is open, bringing more focus into that area of your spiritual growth. And the same thing will happen to your throat chakra. Maybe you're a person that would speak very negatively, or maybe you don't speak at all, and it caused a lot of problems for you in life because you never spoke up for yourself. So you always got stuck doing things you didn't want to do because you never spoke up for yourself. Well, when your throat chakra opens up, you're able to speak for yourself, and that'll create a balance in your life, making things in your life, be much easier for you, because you're speaking up and speaking out for the things that you want and the things that you need in your life. Those are just some examples. So as the new frequency starts to pile up and fill in the light body, it will come up against energy blockages. So as this energy flows up and down your spine, as these new frequencies come in, they will start to pile up and fill up but they'll start to fill up in the light body. It will come against energy blockages, stagnant energy, the blockages that I was talking about earlier. It'll come up against these energy blockages in the body. And at this stage, karmic patterns will start to appear, or may appear. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. But for most people, karmic patterns may appear to dislodge or clear out dead light blockages that need to be cleared out to spiritually progress. So what your body is doing, it's purging. Now, during this stage, many strange things can occur in your life as the spiritual energies are becoming more, physical in your life. Other things will happen, like successive clearing of psycho-emotional energy blockages, and that will allow access to higher intelligence. And that's when you'll begin expanding your consciousness through your higher spiritual identity. That's when you'll be able to tune in better to your higher self and be able to channel and communicate with spirit. At this point, you may start to experience an increase of a weakening, not awakening, but a weakening in the immune system with the acceleration of the nervous system. The nervous system controls everything in your body. So when you are going through the awakening, you go through a weakening period because it does things to your nervous system that sends these signals to other parts of your body, and it makes you think that you're sick, makes you feel like you're dying, makes you feel like you're crazy. It messes with your emotional, physical, and mental um, body makeup. That's why recently, if you've noticed recently, I know I've noticed recently, when I was a little kid, I really didn't notice a lot of people that had cancer or had like fibromyalgia or autism or had like all of these diseases that you hear they advertise on the TV all the time. Take this drug. It'll help with this. It'll help with that. They didn't have those commercials when I was a little girl. So as I was growing up, and becoming an adult, there has been an increase of disease. There are many new strands of diseases, and they're not really diseases, they're dis-eases. They're an imbalance that are coming out in people. They're not diseases, they're imbalances. People need to start to realign themselves and take care of themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. More people are experiencing a deeper level of frustration and aggressive agitation that, is creating many symptoms in the body, many nervous disorders and feelings that your body is like heating up. There's so many like symptoms that everybody's experiencing as they go through this awakening. It's insane. I mean, I have pages and pages and pages of symptoms, but the longer I'm on my spiritual journey, my path, going through the awakening and taking care of myself and being conscious of it, embracing it, my list got smaller and smaller. Now, this comes out with explosions of anger and violence. When people don't know what's going on with them, some people can be explosive in anger or violence. That's the behavior that they're showing to people because it's messing with their brain activity. They don't mean to be angry or violent. It's just a purging. There is an imbalance in their nervous system, which can create many disorders. You're going to see many new disorders or diseases cropping up having to do with the central nervous system. There's a rewiring that is going on to accommodate the increase in intensity of light that's entering your body. And honestly, you guys, I feel that's why I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. What is fibromyalgia? It has to do with your nervous system. It's a rewiring that's going on in my body. It's not a disease. I have a dis-ease. I have an imbalance. So I'm dealing with it. I'm going through the ascension shift just like you are. We're just all on different levels at the moment. We're all going to experience relatively the same thing, maybe not exactly the same way, but we're all going through it and we're all going to experience this process and have a lot of these similar symptoms that are coming in. Some people will experience it more intensely than others. Some people may experience it longer than others. We're all different. So for myself, I just embrace what's happening and I try to naturally cope with it the best way that I know how. Right now, in these times, in these days, there's a greater level of amplitude, of power in the energy that's coming in that you are all of a sudden being plugged into. And it's creating not only an acceleration, but a greater enhancement of energy going through your body. So here are some things that you can do to alleviate these ascension symptoms. You can ground yourself. That is like the first thing that you should be doing. You should always ground yourself. I've done many videos on grounding. I can link one down below so you guys can just get the gist of it. But for the most part, grounding yourself is getting out into nature, walk barefoot on the earth, lay in the grass, do some gardening, drink lots of water, sit by water. If you don't live by water, you could take a bath. You could take a bath in Epsom salt. That's good. You can get an aquarium or a fish tank and set it up in the room that you spend most of your time in, or put a bowl of water by your bed. This helps create greater balance in the electromagnetic field. This is recommended to help balance the increase of energy that is currently coming in. The etheric body acts as a transmitter and a receiver for the surrounding energies. This takes place in specific energy centers for the body or for your chakras in your body. Each chakra is directly associated with an endocrine gland and nerve plexus because of their close relationship with the chakras, which transmit and receive this energy. The endocrine and the nervous system, especially, are now undergoing a huge transmutation. And guess what, you guys? Before I knew any of this, I had my thyroid removed because I had so many things going on with it. The doctor thought I had cancer because the tests kept coming back inconclusive. So they used their technique to scare me. It was like fear that I have cancer or I was going to get cancer. So I better remove my thyroid so I don't get cancer, or the cancer, if I do have cancer, so you want to remove it so it doesn't spread to other parts of your body. So of course I got scared and I listened to my doctor, and I think that was my third doctor. All three doctors wanted me to get rid of it. One wanted me to do it with a radioactive pill. Now, the increase in electrical energies is requiring a complete rewiring of the nervous system, while all the organs and glands in the body are being totally restructured while you're still living in your body. As you take on this body of light, most of these organs and glands will no longer be needed. Eventually, they'll no longer be needed and will gradually just disappear. Maybe not in our lifetime, but in our great-great-grandchildren's lifetime. Or maybe it will happen in our lifetime, because this has never happened ever. There's nothing out there about this process that we're going through. So we really don't know. I mean, anything is possible, but as slow as the ascension process is going, it may not happen until, for another couple years, maybe another 100 years, or maybe when this event happens, maybe it'll just throw us into it. Again, I really just don't know. But right now, what I do know, or what I do feel, as it may not happen to us, maybe, but I do know that we are at the beginning of this evolutionary change. Now, as more and more light becomes available, the intensity of electromagnetic energy around you will also increase. This means that there will be more rapid neurological activity in the body, resulting in higher intensity impulses firing into the central nervous system. Now, when that happens, the nervous system will immediately attempt to dissipate that energy that's coming in by sending it right back out of the spinal column or the spinal cord. That's when the impulses fire along the facilitated pathways into the muscular system. That's why you are feeling muscle tightness, muscle soreness, stiffness. If they fire into the blood vessels, it restricts the circulation, and that's when you feel like your foot fell asleep, or the tingling sensation. When the impulses fire into the skin, you may feel something like abnormal thermal sensations, or feeling like a hot sensation, or a cold sensation, or a prickling sensation, or that's when your skin gets really itchy. If they fire into the organs and the glands, they may inhibit their previously normal functioning, causing maybe some spikes in your thyroid when there's nothing really wrong with your thyroid, or making your heart palpitate, or maybe you become constipated, or things like that, or you start to get headaches and you experience all kinds of crazy symptoms, because when anything with your organs gets disrupted, it will cause a disruption in your body. It will cause a disruption with the activity. Now, do you understand the importance of supporting your nervous system? Why it's so important to take care of yourself? It's trying to maintain a state of homeostasis, a stable state of equilibrium in the physical body. This is such a difficult process. You have to embrace this process. You have to basically love yourself unconditionally and be kind to yourself and not be so hard on yourself. Maybe you were able to run 5 miles a day 2 years ago, but today you can barely get off the couch. Just be kind to your body. Listen to your body. If you're tired, sleep. If you're hungry, eat. Just be kind to your body. Drink water, eat clean, meditate, ground yourself. The body is trying to catch up with the increased frequencies of the subtle body. As we go through the ascension process, we go through cellular transformation, the period of transitioning from the old dying world to the emerging new world. There will be times when you feel disjoined, as if your body is out of phase. You feel like you're just like kind of like outside of your body, but you're here, but you're not here. You're kind of like dazed. Um, everything is wacky right now. This will be extremely frustrating for some of you guys, for you within your mental and your emotional bodies. You just, that's why it's so frustrating, because you don't really know what's going on, because all of these things are going on with you, causing all of these influxes, and you just think you're crazy, you're sick, you're dying, something's wrong, alert, alert, something's wrong. Your body is not acting and functioning normally, not like it used to. And it's okay. It's due to this ascension. You may feel less functional, which will occur as you release the old ways and the old paradigm. This change will cause you to have a tendency to have lower self-esteem. As you integrate the frequency, there are many ascension symptoms which make changes to every single area of the person's makeup. Not makeup, but the person's makeup, which makes you who you are, to your DNA, including physical, mental, and emotional changes that shift perceptions or the self of identity, leading to ego death. If the ego mind is not prepared for this change in consciousness, it may result in psychospiritual crisis and problems with coping with letting go. Because there is no information about the ascension process, most people feel extremely lost and disoriented, and even scared that they're sick, ill, dying, or that they're just losing their mind, they're losing their sanity. This is the reason that I made a YouTube channel, okay? Because I want to be there to help guide you through your ascension gracefully. I want you to know that you're not ill, you're not crazy, you're not dying. If your doctor gave you a clean bill of health and you got your blood work done and everything is good with you and there's nothing major going on with you in your life, in your body, it's probably most likely due to the ascension. You're waking up and your body is going through all of these changes because it's being remodeled, rewired. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't really take care of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. A lot of people are out there eating Burger King, McDonald's, fast food. They're going out to the restaurant every night. They're consuming way too much television. They're geeked up on news. They take every prescription their doctor writes them. They're not healthy. So of course you're going to go through all of these crazy symptoms and experience them in the worst way that you can, because your body is like, your body's been so dormant for so many lifetimes. And then on top of being dormant and clearing away karma, it has to go through this new age shit, that the powers that be are putting out on us so that we don't ascend and wake up. So they're putting up all of these EMF frequencies around us so we can't receive the energies to wake up and ascend. They're pushing all of this fast food, into our lives, and video games and shots, flu shot, so many things that are out there that are basically disabling you so you don't wake up, so you don't ascend. And if you do start to wake up and ascend, it will be so extremely impossible and hard and painful that you may not even want to go through the process, because it's so difficult because of how you're taking care of yourself. If you could just change your lifestyle and think more positive, even in a negative situation, and I know that's easier to say it than to do it, but have these positive affirmations, write them down and say them each morning if you have to. Look at yourself in the mirror if you have to. Just change the way you live your life. Change your lifestyle. Realign yourself. Okay? Start eating cleaner and healthier. Start drinking more water. Stop drinking soda and juices. Start eating more fruits and vegetables. Start exercising. Start grounding yourself. Start taking care of your spiritual body and your physical body. And you will go through this ascension process with more grace, with less pain. I hope that this video was insightful for some of you guys. I want to thank you guys for watching my video, and I want to send you guys lots and lots and lots of healing vibrations, because a lot of you guys will need it at this time. And if any of you guys have any questions, you can email me. My email address is down below in the description area. Also, I would like to mention real quick that I am offering numerology readings for $11.11. It's a karmic exchange. It's 10 to 12 pages long. I email it to you. It's full of all kinds of juicy information. And if you want to know what's in the numerology report that I read, that information is also down below. Also, you guys, I'm offering a past life reading, and I'm also offering tarot card reading, a 3-card drawing for the tarot card, past, present, future. And for those 2 readings I'm offering is by donation only. If you're interested in more information about the readings that I do, the card readings, please email me. And if you feel guided to donate to my channel to help support my channel, my information for PayPal is also down below. I also accept time donations. Yes, time donations. Write me a letter, draw me a picture. I love getting letters via snail mail. That's what I consider a time donation. Sending all you beautiful souls, all you star seeds out there, lots of love, lots of light, and lots of healing vibrations.